Did you know over 95% of real estate deals get done because of follow-ups? If you don't have what I'm gonna cover in this video before you start marketing for deals, then don't even bother, because there's gonna be a lot that's gonna fall through the cracks and there's gonna be a lot of things you're gonna do wrong. So I wanna make sure that you pay attention. This video, I'm gonna cover why follow-ups matter, the three major components that you need to do this correctly, and what it is that we use when we do our follow-ups. So this is a time for you to lean in, shut off distractions, and take some notes. With that, let's get into the show. John Barbera here with an investor's journey. And this is a video that's part of a whole series that I'm doing on marketing for real estate leads. So far, we covered how to start marketing for real estate leads, what lists to pull, where to pull them. We've also gone over what channels to use when you're trying to contact these sellers. You know, direct mail, cold calling, text messaging. I've also shared all the resources, all the things that we like to use, the tools that we use. So if you haven't seen any of those, the link will be above and also in the description below. You can check out those episodes. I go over everything, so there's nothing left for you to wander and ponder about. And like always, if you have any questions, text the word YouTube to 210-794-9898, and you're going to be able to get a hold of me. Text me directly any questions, any issues that you're having when you're marketing for leads or doing any deals. And I will either record a video to help you out, or just, you know, we'll message back and forth to make sure you got the support and the resources that you need. I believe that you guys can do this if you do this. If you do all the things that I'm covering and you put in the effort and you put in the work and you really want to succeed in this business, there's no reason why you can't. There's really no reason. There's always a way to make money in this industry. And that's why this whole channel exists. So if this is your first time listening, I ask you to subscribe and hit a like on this video, as it helps us tremendously. So why do follow-ups matter so much? Not everybody is ready to sell on the first time you make contact with them. Very rarely does it happen. They need time to process. They need time to think about it. A lot of times, depending if you're doing cold calling, text messaging, they haven't even thought about selling, right? So what you're doing a lot of times on the first call is planting that seed in their head. I like to give this analogy. You've heard it a bunch of times, where, you know, you all of a sudden you're about to buy a new car, and you buy this car. Let's call it, you know, it's a Ford F-150, and it's like a silver color. It's a unique color to you. You're like, man, I've never seen this color before. Then you drive out the lot and you see 5 of those on the first turn that you make, right? And it's not that they weren't there before, is that you weren't paying attention to them. And with a seller, it's the same concept. You are asking them if they're looking to sell, if they're interested in selling. They may say no, they may say, I don't know, they haven't thought about it. All of a sudden, as they go about their life, you know, in the following days and everything, they're driving through the neighborhood. They're seeing all their neighbors with for sale signs up. This person moved, that person's selling. All of a sudden, it starts working in their head. You know, maybe I should consider selling. So if you don't have a follow-up game, you planted a seed, and now the next person that calls is the one that's going to reap the rewards. This is why follow-up is so crucial. I don't know if you know this, but it takes anywhere from 8 to 12 or more touches before a lead converts into a deal. That means you need to be following up with these people consistently before a lead turns into a deal. So if you're not tracking this, if you're not managing this correctly, and you're not following up with people, all the marketing you're doing, all the effort that you're doing is completely being wasted, because you're hoping to nail it on the first shot. And I'm telling you, that doesn't happen. You know, could it possibly happen? Maybe. Why make luck part of your investment strategy? You know, use numbers, use data. You need to follow up. Another thing that really matters when you're following up is you never stop following up until that property is sold. Even if you talk to them today and they curse you out, they're pissed at you, you know, they want nothing to do with you. Stop calling me, stop harassing me, all these things. I say, okay, cool, sorry. Set up a follow-up for 6 months from now. I never stop. You never stop following up with people until those houses have sold. We have seen it countless times where they'll curse at you 4 or 5 months ago, and now when you call them, they're thinking that you called them. They're like, yeah, it's so great that you called because now I'm considering selling and this and that. So if you would have taken that first rejection, that first, that first interaction that you did with them as like, oh, they just don't want to sell, you lost it. People may not want to sell now, but everybody sells at some point. And if you're going to be in this business and you're going to do this business long term, then you need to have a system and a process for following with people and tracking people because you just never know when they're going to be ready to sell. And when they are, you're right there to get it. There are 3 major components that you need to look at when it comes time to making sure your marketing efforts are not being wasted. Number 1 is managing your leads. That means that you're doing marketing, whatever it is, direct mail, cold calling, text messaging, whatever it is that you do, pay-per-click, whatever. You are managing the leads that are coming in. Which ones are coming in from what campaign? Because that's going to depend on how you approach these people. We don't always approach people like, absentee landlords the same that we're going to approach somebody that lives in the property. The same we're going to approach somebody with high equity. You approach these people in different ways sometimes. But you need to know which campaign they're coming from so you know to do that when you're following up and when you're touching when you're doing the following touches with these people. This also helps in tracking how long has it been since you last made contact with these people. If you don't have a way to track this and you're not keeping an eye on this, things can fall through the cracks. You just don't remember when was the last time you spoke to them. All of a sudden it's been months, it's been, over a year, and you just have no way of knowing when was it that I made contact with this person. So this leads into number 2, which is setting reminders. We use reminders consistently, religiously. You don't get off a lead until you've set up a reminder. So whatever that is, it's either to follow up in a few months, it's either to give them a call tomorrow, it's either to give them a call later today. Never rely on your own, ability to remember when you got to do certain things. Even if it's an appointment, a visit, whatever it is, you always, before you move on to another lead, you are setting a reminder. This is so crucial because, again, when you're first starting off, you don't give too much importance to this because you're only managing a few leads at a time. But when you've been doing this for a few months, those few leads can get into hundreds very quickly. And when it gets into hundreds, you are not remembering who you need to be calling, when and how and why. You don't remember all those things, nor should you. You shouldn't be wasting any time trying to remember those things. Use technology. That's what it's there for. Set these reminders. Never move on from a lead without setting a reminder. This is also going to help you to avoid anything falling through the cracks, right? Anything from a property that you just haven't contacted all of a sudden because, they contacted you in January, you spoke to them, whatever happened, you never set up a reminder. Now you're in September and they were interested, but you never set up a reminder to talk to them again. And this happens a lot. So take it seriously, set your reminders. And then component number 3 is your notes. Be detailed on your notes. What was the conversation about? What did you guys talk about? What did you cover? Any personal things that you can add in those notes, because it's always great when you're following up with people to follow up on a personal nature of checking in with them like, hey, how's your husband doing? Or how are your kids doing? Because it makes it more like, man, this person was really paying attention. We had a great conversation. We spoke about these things. Try to make sure that when you're talking to these people, that you are building that kind of credibility. You're taking those detailed notes. So every time you are talking to somebody, make sure you're not just talking to them while you're, on the treadmill. Try to talk to them when you are in front of your computer, in front of a notepad or whatever it is, and take down detailed notes. Because sometimes when you're following up with them in a month, 2, 3, 4, those notes are going to help you look at it in 2 seconds, understand where you were, what you spoke about, and how you should be approaching it next. Now, what do we use to do all this? We use a CRM called REsimpli, or REsimpli, however you want to call it. We were actually in the process of building out our own CRM when I came across this one. And since then, we stopped trying to build our own, and we've been with this one for I think about a little over a year now. It's honestly, it is hands down one of the best CRMs I've had access to. I've tried pretty much every CRM out there. They're all great in one or two components, but not everything. What we like about REsimpli is primarily you can track conversations. So every lead that gets uploaded has the recording of the phone call in that lead. If you send a text message through the CRM, which you can send text messages, you can make phone calls, you can send emails, everything gets recorded in the activity log for that lead. So you don't have to be jumping around. Before, we were using CallRail. CallRail is a way to make calls and have them recorded, and receive calls and have them recorded. So we will have the recording over there, the notes over here, the information on this one. So our information was all over the place. This has allowed us to compile everything into one place. So we're able to track all the calls, all the conversation. If we need to listen to a call again or check out what was the conversation chain, all of that, it's all in one place. So that is an amazing, amazing feature when it comes time to like tracking and managing your leads. It also has a great integration where you can work with team members. So you can create different accounts for your team members, lead managers, acquisitions, closing coordinators, whoever it is, and you can interact with them within the system altogether. So you don't have to be, again, like when we were doing it, we would have all this information everywhere. Then we had to send an email to somebody. It'll get missed in the email system. So it was a whole thing. Now we can just tag whoever we're doing business with, whoever's on our team, and they can pick up whatever wherever we are, whatever needs to be done, run comps, take a look at this deal. What do you think about it? Everything is in one place. And then you can also buy phone numbers from them. They're $1 a number. And these are you can buy local phone numbers to whatever market you're doing, which is huge. If you're doing any type of marketing, and let's say it's in a different market that you're in, you can buy a local number to that market and have it forward to your phone. And you can do this so you can track, record phone calls. So even if you have to take a call while you're out and about, you can take the call and know that you can go back and listen to a recording and take notes at that point. So it's so powerful. I mean, it's a really powerful CRM. And then the other benefit is they have a great support staff. I mean, this is something that for me, it's crucial because CRMs and platforms, they're always changing and there's always issues. And even as your business grows, there's times that you're running it this way and then you make a pivot and you switch and now you're trying to do it this way. And what I love about their support staff is that whenever something like that happens, I can reach out to them. It's like, hey, I'm trying to do this thing. How can I do it within REsimpli? And they'll walk me through step by step. And if it's a feature that they don't have, they will throw it to their team and see if it's a feature that they can implement, if it makes sense for other people. I mean, it's a great community. They have a private Facebook group where you can interact with other investors and kind of bounce ideas off of. They have drip campaigns. So we love drip campaigns. Let me explain this real quick. It's a tangent, but it's powerful. A drip campaign, there's a lot of times that we make contact with people or we don't make contact with people. And when we don't make contact, we put them on a drip campaign. So every couple days or weeks, it's dropping a text message. It's reminding us to make a call. It's dropping another text messages. It's reminding us again to make a call. So we don't have to think about these things. We have process and drip campaigns set out. So all we have to do is, oh, this person didn't answer. We put them on the no answer drip campaign and we leave it alone. And we don't have to think about it. Now we get alerts whenever we need to call them. But we don't have to think about, where's this lead at? What happened? Who do I need to call today? It's all set up for us. So I do have a discount link that you guys can use if you want to try it out. It's a great CRM. We only promote and share what we use. If we don't use it, we don't talk about it. This is something that we use consistently. This is how we run all our leads. So I recommend you guys check it out. But like I said at the beginning, for more training on how to do your marketing and everything like that, watch this playlist up here. I also did a whole playlist on how to speak and negotiate with sellers, and you can check that out down here. Anything else, make sure you comment below, hit like, give us some love on YouTube and social media. We really appreciate it, and we'll catch you all on the next one.